This is the show. I am Nick the Father Turner.
I'm Pat the Hat Stango, and we've got a guest. He used to be a host, but then when you really make it, you get elevated from host to guest, and that's what happened to Clayton. The Speeches King is here with us tonight on
Welcome
this
to
very
the
special
show.
episode.
Yes, I'm being treated very shabbily. Thank you.
It's funny because 2 of the 3 episodes released last week, he was on. I'm not sure any of our loyal listeners, have missed him because we've all been away for the exact same amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
I've actually got a couple of messages that people don't miss me. Is that rude?
Wait, but you've never left.
No, I just got tweets that were like, guess what, buddy? We've had plenty. I felt rude.
They're thinking about you. That's something.
That's, I didn't think about it that way, but you're right. Top of the mind. All right, guys, we've got a lot to get into. We are recording as the Golden Globes come to a close. As the host of the Golden Globes, Gerard, beloved by me, but not by all.
Who's
Hosted our way
by
through
all?
a
No one
4, 5, 6 hour Golden Globes. Definitely too long. Someone's mad. Guys, above all, this is a gambling podcast. So, Pat, I want to walk you through, or walk the audience through our bets, because that's how we saw this show.
Okay.
My beautiful baby boy is cooing, and I'm like, Lyra, shut him up. I lost to goddamn Spielberg.
Well, the thing is, your beautiful baby boy was upset because Bluey was not nominated tonight, and Coco Melon
His name is Blippi.
Blippi. Yeah, I'm sure there's a Bluey out there that he's a fan of, but none of his favorites, Coco Melon, Peppa Pig, none of them were nominated, so he doesn't give it.
Not even Caillou. You're right.
Yeah, he doesn't care about these Globes, but you care. I care. We had money on this. And do we want to go over? Do we want to go over the?
Let's go over all of them. Let's go over every category.
Okay,
let's touch it all. Right.
Well, let's go for it. So, the big ones. Let's start with the big ones. And also, when we say every category, mean every movie category. We're not going into television.
Every movie category, and we only really care about the ones we bet on.
Right. So, Best Picture. The 2 best pictures were Best Film Drama, went to, I think, in a surprise to us, the favorite, The Fabelmans, won Best Picture. So that happened. And Best Picture Comedy was Banshees of Inisherin. And
not
Nick,
Everything Everywhere All at Once.
I know. And I wonder what this is going to mean for the Oscar trajectory of these movies, because
I'll tell you what, tonight was a bad night for Everything Everywhere All at Once. But I'll also tell you the Golden Globes, as the 3 of us learned last year. Clayton, please back me up. They don't fucking matter.
Nope, they don't at all. They don't matter.
They don't matter. They're weirdos.
The Fabelmans is a Trojan horse. That's what that is. This is good. This is good for gamblers. Right?
Yes.
Because people are going to say, oh, Fabelmans, put the money on Fabelmans. Go ahead and do that. Because it ain't going to win the Oscar. It ain't going to do it.
Yeah,
it's going to probably keep the Fabelmans as the betting favorite for the Oscars. It's going to help, because if Elvis or Tar, or Top Gun Maverick, basically if anything else won, I think Fabelmans would have been moved out of the favorite spot for the Oscars. But because it won tonight, and because Spielberg won director, it probably is going to stay a favorite on those betting lines, even though we know it will not win the Oscar.
Also, I think on Saturday, Tar is going to win Best Picture at the Critics' Choice Awards.
Okay.
Further cementing Everything Everywhere All at Once as a long shot, baby.
Yeah.
To win the Oscar.
Well, we're starting with those 2 categories. So Fabelmans won Best Picture, and Banshees won Best Picture. So Nick, did you have money on either of these categories? Did you win money on either Best Picture? Because I did not.
No, I think I had some very early money on Tar. I had $10 on Tar.
Okay.
And it would have, to win $45 or whatever. But I knew that going in, just checking Gold Derby top users, that it was pretty much like a 5-way race.
Yeah.
Everyone, there wasn't any lead. Everyone was roughly the same.
I
It was
had
insane.
$10 on Banshees
Like
for
the
Best Picture
NFC
Comedy.
East.
I had $10 on Banshees for Best Comedy, so I won
Oh,
$20 on that. So that's what I won. So we've got
big winner.
We've got the speeches king Clayton here, and we're going to go through all these categories and see what speeches may have helped anyone's chances for future awards. So Clayton, did you see anything in the speeches for Best Picture Drama? Spielberg gave a speech, or the producer's speech in Banshees winning Best Comedy? Did anything notable in those speeches?
Well, just to give a caveat at the very beginning of this, I don't want to mention this every single time. The playing off was a disaster. Okay. They messed that up.
It was background music.
It ruined the flow of a lot of people's speeches. But here's the thing. You can overcome those things to make a great speech, right? And we'll get into that on certain occasions. But I think for the most part, it screwed people over. Neither of these speeches, especially the Banshees one, was pretty much wallpaper. Spielberg was fine, but we've seen Spielberg do speeches before. He said how he finally was able to tell this story, about how everybody wanted to have sex with his mom. He finally was able to do it. That's an interesting sort of Oedipal thing. Yeah. But
I've wanted to have sex with his mom since she was a teenager.
Absolutely. I mean, I guess, according to Steven Spielberg, we all have. We just didn't know it until this movie came out.
I'm in from Dawson's Creek, not something gross.
Oh, okay. So anyway, the thing with that is that I think the reason Spielberg was given this award is because the Hollywood Foreign Press is trying to get people back behind the Globes. And who is a bigger person than Steven Spielberg? If you give Steven Spielberg an award, he will show up again. That's the thing. If you don't give Spielberg an award, he might not show up next year. So I think the reason he won this award was for the Globes, not for any other reason. So that's why you really can't take into account this win as precipitating anything for the Oscars. Saying that, I think his speech was probably a C.
Yeah, I actually think he lost points for being there.
Really?
Kate wasn't there. Tom Cruise wasn't there. Will Smith, best performance of the year in Emancipation, wasn't there. If you were anyone, you were not there.
Yeah.
Brendan Fraser. I mean, that's it. If you had something better to do, you're going to win an Oscar.
Yeah, there is something a little desperate about Spielberg showing up tonight, because he knew this would be his best chance to win.
And he knew people were watching this on Hulu, a streamer.
Yes.
Peacock, probably, right? Unless they were doing Hulu Live.
Yes, Peacock.
But Peacock was the home of this, streaming-wise.
Well, I don't know what the fuck happened. I was on one. Yeah, okay. Peacock,
Nick knows he was on some streaming service tonight. He thinks he was watching the Globes. He's pretty sure he was watching the Globes tonight. But yeah, I agree. There was something classy about, let's get into Best Actress Drama was won by Cate Blanchett. There was pretty much no other possibility. That was a slam dunk.
Okay, that was literally, Pat, my out of 6 bets I made.
Yeah.
My only win.
Wow. How much did you win on Cate Blanchett Drama?
Well, this was the money I made off that free play. So it's all free money. And so I bet all this on free money. $10 I bet real money on the Daniels. I was sure I was going to win that.
Mm-hmm. But for
but
Kate
it didn't work.
Blanchett,
Anyway, so for Kate Blanchett, I maxed out, which was like $62. So I came away with $87.50 from Kate Blanchett.
okay. So that was
So I
your
have
big.
$87.50 from here, down 10. So $77.50. I'm up. That's what I'm counting.
That's great. And thank you, Kate Blanchett. I did not put any money on her. I think I learned a lesson tonight, which is usually I don't put any money on the favorites because it's like, when am I going to win? $2 here, $3 here. But
I also
Kate
maxed out
Blanchett-
on Jamie Lee Curtis, and I
Yeah.
fucked up.
that was a pro. We'll get to supporting actress, but on Best Actress drama, Kate Blanchett won. She was the heavy favorite. There was no chance she was going to lose. And tonight, she did not show up. Unlike Steven Spielberg, she did not show up to receive her Golden Globe. So, Clayton, speech is king. Can you rate the speech of Kate Blanchett tonight? Not showing up.
I mean, perfect. It was the perfect speech.
Mm-hmm.
It was the perfect speech for this movie and the perfect speech for this actress.
Yes.
Yeah. I said it when Clayton and I and Nick, we were all separately texting throughout this night. And I said to Clayton early in the night, I said, what is Kate Blanchett even going to say in her speech tonight? What is there to say? Hey, I'm great. And we all know this. And instead she topped me, which is she just didn't say anything. It was
She's
perfect.
like, haven't I won a lot of awards?
Right.
I mean,
I'm so
silence-
English, probably.
Well,
silence is powerful.
Yes. And
She's English.
she's English, as we've established.
As
She
we've
is British.
established.
She is British. Yeah, that was the perfect speech. Because she's above the Globes. Spielberg tonight showed he's not, and I think that hurts him for the Oscars. So let's see. So we've covered the two best pictures. Best director was Spielberg. All right, best actor in a drama. Let's get into it. This is the one that I've been pushing since we started the show. I've been saying Elvis. I've been saying Austin Butler, and he won it tonight. Austin Butler for Elvis is your best actor in a drama. Nick, I know you're kind of upset by this because you don't love the Elvis movie. I forget. You don't love this movie.
Well, I mostly don't eat. I don't love eating humble pie,
Mm,
and I had to
Put a little whipped cream on
because I don't know. I'm not going to eat humble pie when the favorite wins. You know, he was the favorite.
he was the favorite here.
He was the literal favorite.
He was the
on
little
betting
favorite.
sites and Gold Derby. Don't come at me with anything else. This motherfucker was the favorite. Brendan Fraser, my
Right.
favorite.
That's his name.
He was not the favorite.
Do we think that, and we're going to get into the speech. So speech is king. I know you are raring to go on this Austin Butler speech, but do we think that,
That was
Brendan-
Elvis.
do we think he is Elvis? Elvis is him. They have become one person.
Thank you very much. Oh,
Yeah,
I just want to thank my mother, Priscilla. Oh, also my real family.
that's
forgot
that's
about
how
my
you
real
know
family.
he's a great actor, because he can't stop
Yeah.
being the character.
And then Colin Farrell was like, "Oh, and I would like a round of applause, but no one has their fingers."
well, he's playing Woody Allen in the Woody Allen biopic soon, so he's got a
I would like to be a filmmaker still.
yeah. So
They're both memorable speeches. See, you're quoting from them. That's a memorable speech.
well, all right, let's get into this Austin Butler speech. So speech is king. This Austin Butler speech, break it down for us.
Okay, well, here's the thing. Pat, I know you're higher on this speech than I am.
Okay.
But we talked about it. We texted about it. I think his SNL monologue was an A+.
Mhm.
A+. But it's not a speech for an award, so it does not count.
Was
This-
he Elvis in the SNL monologue too?
Mhm.
He's
Oh,
always
yeah.
Elvis. He's always
always
Elvis.
He's always up. Was he
Yeah.
Elvis before the movie though?
No one knows. He was in.
Was he in anything?
He was in Once Upon a Time in America,
was-
in Hollywood.
he
He
was
was
Tex.
Tex. He was Tex.
Oh,
He rides the
with a
horse.
Southern accent, probably.
Yes. Yeah.
So we don't know what his real accent is.
We'll never have to know. He's just always Elvis to us now.
Gotcha.
So I'm going to say this was a B plus speech, but for a purpose, because he did not waste his A game for the Globes,
Mhm.
which was smart. I, at first, was like, why isn't he talking about his mother? That's where the juice is. That's where the heat is. His mother had passed away. She was the light of his life, helped him order food when he was too nervous, and now he's a big star and a sex symbol. Great story. He mentions her briefly because he doesn't want to waste the juice. That juice, you can't squeeze that lemon till it's all out before the big awards. So I think a B plus speech by him is still the right move. But I did like this speech a lot.
Yeah, I mean, to me, first of all, he was funny. He did the great joke when the band started playing, trying to play him off. And what did he say? Why can't we make it Hound Dog? What was the song
You could
he-
at least play, what was it? I can't remember. It was
You
an
could
Elvis
have at
song.
least
An
made it
Elvis.
one of my hits.
Yeah, he mentioned an Elvis song.
Hey, are we taking
And-
care of business or what?
He thanked Tom Hanks, called him his dance partner, which I think was a great move because Tom Hanks is Mr. Hollywood, most popular guy. You link yourself to Tom Hanks in the mind of all these awards voters. I think that's a very shrewd move that he made. Make him and Hanks a partnership out there.
He put himself, Pat, this is great that you're doing this. He put himself in big company. He thanked
Yes.
Tarantino. He said he printed out the Pulp Fiction speech.
Yeah.
Script. I'm sorry, script when he was a kid. He thanked Denzel Washington for
Yes.
giving him a part in The Iceman Cometh. He is putting himself in a collection of icons. That is very important for voters to have
Yeah.
in their minds, that he is entrenched in Hollywood with big movers and shakers and respected artists like Denzel, like Tarantino,
Like Hanks.
Okay,
like Hanks.
guys, I have one question.
Okay.
Which category was first? Best actor in a drama or best actor in a comedy musical?
Colin Farrell gave a speech first. So yeah.
Okay, so
comedy
did anyone
musical.
notice that in Colin Farrell's speech, he called Brendan Gleeson, an actor he has worked with twice on two, obviously in very important roles for him, his like only nominated roles. He called Brendan Gleeson his dance partner. Did you pick that up?
That's a great point. So basically, he's setting up a little tag team match here. You know,
I think
this
Austin Butler was just copying Colin Farrell, talking about a guy he met in one movie.
Oh wow. Okay.
These are the 10 poles of his career, Colin Farrell, and Austin Butler's like, yeah, me and Tom Hanks' worst role.
So we've got, you know, outside of this show, comedian Nick Turner, and he is accusing Austin Butler of stealing material from Colin Farrell in his speech.
Those,
This is
it's right there on the screen.
It's a
He just
Carlos
came up with
Mencia
that.
situation. Carlos Mencia all over
Yeah,
again.
for sure. Because he did
Yeah.
it better.
But you know what? He topped him because listen, no disrespect
Yeah,
to Brendan
that's Carlos
Gleeson.
Mencia. He topped all the comedians he stole from.
And you know what? And because of that, he's known as one of the great comedians of all time. So you got Colin Farrell. He's out there saying Brendan Gleeson is my tag team partner, my dance partner. And then an hour later, Austin Butler is saying, oh yeah, Brendan Gleeson's nice, but my dance partner, two-time Oscar winner, most famous
Tom
actor
Hanks.
in America, Tom Hanks.
America's Dad, the
Yeah.
man called Otto,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Great move. I mean, Clayton, I think that maybe a B plus is a good score. I'd put it A because he was doing all of these shrewd moves throughout his speech. Austin Butler was really setting the table to win that Oscar with this speech tonight.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I mean he did everything he needed to do. He hit every note. He is in that two-person race with Colin Farrell, who I don't want to give short shrift to his speech. He is a charming guy. He is a funny guy. He is a quick guy.
Yeah.
I mean, there are several people that did speeches or gave out awards on this night that should have hosted this award show because of their level of quickness and skill.
Well, let's
right?
get into best actor in a comedy or musical. So Colin Farrell, he won it. And who was the other? Was there any other possible challengers in that
No,
category?
Colin Farrell was minus 500 going into tonight.
So Nick, did you put any money on Colin Farrell to win? Did you get any
No,
easy money
Colin
on him?
Farrell was even worse odds than Pinocchio to win. I mean, it
Mhm.
was the single most doinkiest doink. I put
Mhm.
money on Kate Blanchett because she was like, at least some money's coming back.
Right,
Mhm.
right. So
Yeah.
let's get into it then with Colin Farrell. He won Best Actor in a Comedy or Musical. Speech is King. I mean, it seems like you do like this Colin Farrell. I think we all do. Is there anyone who doesn't like Colin Farrell's speech tonight?
I don't like it.
Really? All right, Father.
Yeah.
Let's hear about
Well,
this.
he's not Bill Nye.
Oh,
So he can
so
go
you
fuck himself.
what? I mean, you know what?
I thought that through everyone's speeches.
So every category, you're just like, this
Every
human
category.
being is not Bill
Yeah.
Nye.
Oh, Bill Nye can't win Best Supporting Actress in a Comedy and Musical Television Series.
You know,
Wow.
I respect that. I respect that level of crazed fandom.
Thanks.
But
It
Speech
makes
is
a lot of
King.
sense.
What do you give this Colin Farrell speech? Austin Butler's a B plus. What is Colin Farrell's speech?
I mean, I think he gave. I would say he's a B plus as well. I'd
Okay.
even maybe put him A minus at this point.
Okay.
You know,
Oh,
because
Yeah.
from what Nick said, if he did originate the dance partner line, then I have to grade him a little bit higher
Hmm.
than Austin Butler. But I think they're both. Nobody did a terrible job here. Both did what they needed to do to be the front runners here. This is a
Mhm.
two-man race right now.
Mhm.
Sorry, Bill Nighy. Sorry, you're toast. You're toast.
Wow.
I apologize to me because honestly, I'm the only person with a microphone who's ever been hot on Bill Nye to win this year.
Sorry, Nick.
So
Bill Nighy is toast.
we should do a Viking funeral for my Bill Nye love and my $30 that I put on it.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I hope Nye gets the nomination because again, for someone like him, the nomination is the win.
Mhm.
So yeah, I love that Colin Farrell speech. He was hilarious. He was charming. He got a lot of material in there quickly.
Yes.
I think talking fast is probably a plus for the Oscar voters because they're going to have those same time limits. So looking at the best actor race overall heading into the Oscars, so coming out of these Globes, do we think that Brendan Fraser has been pushed firmly into third place, or does tonight not matter for him? I'll go to the father, Nick Turner. What do you think?
I think tonight matters a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I think that this was one of the categories that they could have made a statement with.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that they chose not to is a testament to people just won't vote for it. And I
Mhm.
saw it this week. And the movie is not fun.
The Whale. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. It is
I
not
didn't
fun.
like being there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I know that it's not him. Seeing someone in a fat suit like that, it just makes it feel like he's the voice in the cartoon.
Yes.
And
Yes.
the movie just wasn't serious enough.
Yeah.
The characters were dumb as hell.
Yeah. Can I throw this out here? This is a statement I made when Clayton and I saw The Whale in the movie theater. I did not think Brendan Fraser was good in that movie. And I think that, and listen, I don't consider myself a great actor. I haven't acted in a long time. You know, my background is comedy sketches online. But I do think if you put me in that movie, I would have done as good of a job as Brendan Fraser in The Whale. That's my take on his performance.
And I will say, I think you would have been better, Pat. I just think you would have been better. And I'm not even being facetious. I'm
Yeah.
not being facetious.
I know you're
at
not.
all.
No,
Um,
you would have, you're obviously one of the greats.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm not even saying I'm one of the greats. I'm just saying I would have been as good or better than Brendan Fraser.
Yeah,
But
no, you're right. Like, imagine wearing like 400 pounds of like fat makeup for 3 months and not crying a few times.
right, you can't help but cry and throw up in that. I don't even know if any of that was him acting. I'm sure he was
I throw
puking
up all the
constantly.
time. I'm not 600 pounds.
Right, right. Yeah, so I agree. I think as more people see The Whale, they're not going to want to vote for it. And I think tonight was a bad night because both of his main competitors won. There wasn't some kind of like, outsider who got the win who's then not going to matter for the Oscars. It was like the two contenders won. They both gave great speeches. Brendan Fraser is now moved to third place.
Yeah,
in
I mean,
that
I
race.
think it is a benefit that he didn't go up there and speak because he is as boring as milk.
Mhm.
He is unsettling to look at. He's fun to think about in the sense of, oh, good for him. He's having a career again, but he's no Kiwi Kwan. When you see Kiwi Kwan on stage, you're energized and you think you can do anything. When you look at Brendan Fraser, you say, oh my good Lord, is that where successful people end up?
Well, you brought him up, so let's go into it. Best supporting actor in all movies. The winner was not either of the guys from Banshees, so no Brendan Gleeson, no Barry Keoghan. The winner for best supporting actor was Kiwi Kwan for Everything Everywhere All at Once. And guys, I think we might have our speech of the night, but speech is king. What did you think of Kiwi Kwan?
Speech of the night, A plus 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 plus. He did everything. He focused on how when he was a kid, he had great success, and then it went away for a long time, and he didn't sound angry about it. He didn't blame people. He focused on his emotions and how it made him feel, and getting the chance to do something like Everything Everywhere All at Once, and the people that he started out with giving a Spielberg a shout out. I mean, I cried. I shed tears. I don't know if there was a dry eye in that house. And I think this is an A plus 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 speech. I think he won the Oscar tonight. And he started off the show in spectacular fashion with that speech. It was the first award given out, and I don't know if it was possible to top that.
I can't add anything to this.
Yeah. The speech of the night, it's an all-timer. I think as we head to the Oscars, here's the Kiwi Kwan dilemma. And it's the same dilemma I think that Brad Pitt had in the same category in the 2019 race for the 2020 Oscars, which is Brad Pitt was the favorite. He won the Golden Globes. He won all the precursors. He was giving banger speech after banger speech, self-deprecating, funny. He had his Daily Show writer guys writing him these great speeches. He was charming. And the question was almost, is he saving anything for the Oscars? So I think what Kiwi Kwan is, you just don't want to burn yourself out. So, he's almost got to maybe take a dive at the Indie Spirits or something like that. Save something for the Oscars because this Golden Globe speech was an A+. He's just got to make sure he could at least get to an A for the Oscars because that's the big one. But I mean, this guy's going to win the Oscar, right? Is there he's our
Golden Globes don't matter.
They don't matter, but in this case, besides the Globes, I mean, you watch the Hollywood Reporter roundtable, and I defy anybody who spends any time with him at any party to deny him the gold.
No, it's fine. It's just like, he's the person we've always known. And it's only like, I'm only like annoyed by it because this was the most exciting category for us as prognosticators last year.
Right. He's Troy Kotzer, except everyone knew he was Troy Kotzer
4 months early. Yeah.
Right. There was no Cody Smith-McPhee who was the favorite before the Globes. That's the problem.
Right.
Yeah. So from
there
a gambling,
was Barry Keoghan, but he wasn't getting any awards.
he wasn't. No one really believed that one. Yeah.
There was a weirdo kid though.
It's we're all happy for Kiwi Kwan, other than we're not really going to be able to make any money off of his career comeback. So, but listen,
Yeah.
it's good for him. Good for him. Best supporting actress in a movie. The winner was Angela Bassett for Wakanda Forever. So,
And this
Nick,
is when we knew that these Golden Globes were going to be a little different.
Mhm.
And we were wrong because they were the same. And then almost every, favorite won, most of the categories. But no, this was a bummer, as were almost every category I had money on.
mhm.
Was a bummer. There were favorites, and she was not one of them. She was the only winner, I think, that wasn't even in the conversation.
No. I mean, so this category, we both have Jamie Lee Curtis as who we thought would win.
Maxed her out.
Maxed her out.
Bet US.
I had money on her. I had money on Kerry Condon, and I had money on Dolly De Leon for Triangle of Sadness, and that would have won me a nice little penny there.
Yeah, all the things that definitely aren't going to happen would have made you a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, Kerry Condon, and that wouldn't have made me a lot of money. It would have made me $20. But Kerry Condon or Jamie Lee Curtis were the favorites here.
Yeah, no, it was done. It was a 2-woman race.
Yeah. So do we think that Angela Bassett winning the Globe tonight does anything for her going forward?
No, 0.
No.
This is
No.
not a serious win. This was not a serious award given.
Well,
Really?
yeah, I mean, especially the Golden Globes. I mean, every year in one of the acting categories, there's someone who like wins that doesn't even get a nomination for Oscar, like Lady
Right.
Gaga. There's a joke win
Mhm,
this
mhm.
time.
Well,
And
who was the gentleman from Nocturnal Animals? The most famous. It was the most
Aaron
famous
Taylor
example of
Johnson.
that. Yeah, who was not
Oh,
even
yeah.
nominated for the Oscar, and he won.
Right.
a
A
Golden
different
Globe.
a different actor, Michael Shannon, a different actor from his movie,
Mm.
was nominated for the Oscar in that category, even though
Sure.
he won the Globe for it.
Yeah, and then of course there was Pia Zadora back in.
And of course,
1980.
Pia Zadora won Best Newcomer and was never nominated for an Oscar. So,
Mhm.
you don't want to be in the same category as Pia Zadora, but Angela Bassett might be there. I mean, Speech is King. We'll go to you to rate the speech. One thing that I will say about Angela Bassett's speech tonight that I'm wondering whether it's a good move or a bad move. She really put a lot of emphasis on thanking Marvel. She won for a Marvel movie, Wakanda Forever. She thanked Marvel. She talked about making history as the first actor in a Marvel movie to win an award like this. And on one hand, I think it's a bad move because, Marvel is sort of the big evil in Hollywood, or at least it's the thing that's ruining art, blah, blah, blah. But on the other hand, Marvel also employs like 80% of Hollywood. Every actor ever has been in a Marvel movie at this point, except Leo. So she's kind of playing both sides in that, ooh, we hate Marvel. But on the other hand, hey, everyone who votes for the Oscars has worked for Marvel at some point. So overall, I think that was not a great thing to go all in on the history making of being a Marvel actor. But Speech is King. What do you rate this Angela Bassett supporting actress speech?
This speech
Mm-hmm.
was terrible.
Wow.
It is a D. D for Disney.
Wow, that's the lowest rating I've seen.
Wow.
Here's the thing. I almost would give her a C- because I don't think she thought she was going to win.
Okay.
But for that aside, the actual speech was terrible.
Mm-hmm.
All the Marvel stuff. Her pulling out her phone. If you have your phone in your hand for your speech, it is not coming from the heart. That is an
Quinta Brunson.
inauthentic speech. Okay? And she was holding her phone like she was playing Angry Birds. She was not holding her phone like she was on her notes app. So I don't know what was going on there. Then
Mhm.
we cut to her husband in the crowd, and he is filming it on his phone. No wonder her kid has issues with phone usage, okay?
Mhm.
This is a family that needs to talk about screen time. The other thing is, it was rambling, and you're right, talked too much about Marvel. It went on for too long. There was nothing of substance in that speech. And I love Angela Bassett, and I think she tried to get away with gravitas, just having the gravitas that she brings, and it didn't work. This is a bad speech. And if she had any shot
Mhm.
of getting even nominated for an Oscar, let alone winning, she blew it tonight. She blew
Wow.
it.
Wow. They never give you enough napkins in this place. She blew it. Nick, anything to add there on this Angela Bassett situation?
No, I'm choosing to look past it.
Okay.
I have too much interest in these real awards, and this is the second year in a row where we have been incredibly disappointed by the results of the Golden Globes. The only reason that we give it such weight in our lives is because it's the Iowa of the awards season.
Mhm. Mhm.
Iowa is a worthless state. It's not a harbinger. It's not like it cannot speak for America, yet it is given the first of our voice.
Right.
And it's criminal. And so is the new owner of the Golden Globes. Can I tell you a few more things the new owner of the Golden Globes owns?
Sure. Breaking news.
Okay. He owns the Chelsea Soccer Club
Mhm.
over there
Evil.
in jolly old England. That's
Evil.
not anything to do with what I'm saying, even though it is a couple of giant purchases in a single year. And of course, it's not just him, but it's his company, whatever, doing it, whatever. But he's the face of it.
Mhm.
Anyway, he owns minority stake in Variety, which, as we all know, is like there's some involvement with Variety and the Golden Globes. There's a reason they tweet before anybody else.
Interesting. So they're supposed to be
Um,
covering the Globes, but
yeah.
they are the Globes.
Yeah, he also owns minority stake in the Beverly Hills Hotel, where the Golden Globes are held each year.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He
Okay.
also owns minority stake in A24.
Which is nominated for several Golden Globes.
Yeah.
Does he
This
does he
guy
own
is
any
putting
percentage of
together a
our show?
portfolio. He owns 83% of our show.
Oh,
That's okay. There we go. You should have led with that one.
yeah, because we all,
Yeah.
I mean, so to restate it, we love the Globes and they're the #1 award
Yeah.
show.
We got to talk
Show
Michelle
Yeoh.
Yeoh.
Oh,
Yeah.
Michelle
Why?
Yeoh.
She
That's
also
right.
couldn't pronounce Kiwi Kwan's name, which is a help to everyone, every podcaster out there.
It really gives a lot of people cover on that.
Yeah.
So Michelle Yeoh did win Best Actress in a Comedy or Musical. So it's her versus Cate Blanchett at the Oscars, which, as we all knew, would be. Quickly, guys, what did we think of Michelle Yeoh tonight? We'll go to Speeches King first. How'd you like that speech?
C. That's a C speech. It was tough. She was thrown
yeah.
off by the music. She threatened physical harm, which I understand. She is a martial artist. It was meant to be tongue in cheek, but she was genuinely pissed. Her story of perseverance was blaming other people, not how it made her feel. Actors want the internal thing. They don't want
She
the
had the
external
can you
thing.
believe it of someone it was their first big movie.
Yeah,
Mhm.
she did not get you on her side the way I wanted to be on her side. She did not do enough to make me be like, "Oh, Cate Blanchett, she's boring, she's stoic, she's not going to do it." I mean, if Michelle would have gone and just brought down the house, then we have ourselves a race. I'm worried about her now. I am
Mhm.
worried about her after this speech because it did not go off well.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was fine. I thought the music thing really was the big problem, because I think Michelle Yeoh's big strength in going up against Kate Blanchett is Michelle Yeoh is a star, and she comes off like a star. She feels like
Yeah.
she's been a star for a long time. And
Mhm.
when the music starts playing and she's got to threaten to kick him in the face, it does dampen her star power. And then on the other side, Kate Blanchett, she didn't even have to deal with any of this bullshit.
Yeah.
She didn't show up.
A
So
lot of times when someone says like "fuck that music," they've earned it. But hers was like, like you got yo now. Don't
Right.
even
Yeah.
try it. And we're
And
like,
if her
prove
yeah,
it.
if her speech would have been going well, she could have had the audience go with her on that. Like Colin Farrell elegantly did it. Austin Butler elegantly did it. So many other people elegantly did it. She did it very inelegantly, and it's a shame that they put her in that situation. But she could have risen to the challenge, and she did not.
All right, we got to do Critics' Choice. We got to transition.
all right. Well, thank you, Speeches King, for joining us on
Thank you,
tonight's show.
boys.
All right. So
Hey, Pat.
Yes.
Pat.
Yes. Yes.
I want to say the movie awards betting schedule spreadsheet is live. You can
Okay.
find it on the Discord, the movies and TV section of our SGPN Discord. You can find it on our Patreon. You can find it in the show notes to this and all episodes of this show. And I want to say right now, Golden Globes betting is done. Hope you got your bets in for shitty people. Next up, this Saturday, January 15th, Critics' Choice Awards. Lines currently available on BetUS. Independent Spirit Awards on March 4th. Lines currently available on BetUS. And the Academy Awards, Sunday, March 12th. Coming up, buddy. 2
Wow.
months away.
So have you gotten your money
Hold
in?
on. Lines
Yeah.
currently available on Bovada, BetUS, Bet Online, and Every Game. That's 4 sites already, bud.
Wow. It's heating up out there. It's heating up. Have you gotten money in yet on the Critics' Choice Awards? Have you put some stakes down in the ground?
Yeah, I haven't bet a lot of money, but I bet 2 tenors.
Okay.
I got a tenor on Everything Everywhere All at Once
Okay.
to win Best Picture, and
Wow.
Everything Everywhere All at Once, $10 to win Best Ensemble or whatever the category is.
So you think this is the one that the critics love. So the Critics' Choice Awards, let's step back. So now, unlike the Oscars, which is people in the industry, the Golden Globes, which is foreign journalists that no one really knows who they are, the Critics' Choice is a collection of critics from around the country. So this is an award show that, if you look at the Rotten Tomatoes score of some of these movies, it might give you an idea.
Why wouldn't you just look at the Rotten Tomatoes score and think that movie's going to win? Everything Everywhere All at Once, 95%, that's going to win.
Right. That's what you would think. I mean, I think what you have to do is you got to hit that extra tab on Rotten Tomatoes and go into top critics, because I don't think all critics are part of the Critics' Choice.
Hold on, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm just getting word from our producer.
Right.
The Banshees of Inisherin.
Yes.
97% on Rotten Tomatoes.
So there you go. So then Banshee should win.
You know why I bet on Everything Everywhere All at Once? Probably because the odds were better.
Yeah, I'm looking.
But also Tar, I think, is really like, it's a real like piece of shit, like overeducated choice to win.
Well, yes, it's almost.
I think it's open.
It's almost like, do the critics voting, do they want to be such caricatures of themselves to give the Critics' Choice Awards to Tar? Like, you have to do a little psychology when you're thinking about these, because it's not a football game where it's just like, who's bigger, who's stronger. That's a team that's going to win.
It's not a football game, huh?
And with these award shows, you got to get into the psychology of the voters. And I think the critics don't want to be so obvious and give their award to Tar. But anyway, let's go category by category. I've got BetUS up right now for the Critics' Choice Awards.
Me too.
So they have as the top award Best Acting Ensemble, And nominees are Everything Everywhere, Women Talking, Fablemans, Glass Onion, Banshees, Woman King. The favorite is Everything Everywhere. So you have put money on Everything Everywhere. In this one is looking at this category, I agree that Everything Everywhere is probably going to win. If I'm putting money on this, I'd actually throw down Banshees is plus
Fuck
1,000.
yeah. That's
And-
incredible odds.
That's great odds because you look at this is an acting award, and Banshees is a movie that is probably going to have 3, if not 4 actors nominated for acting awards.
Remax. Yeah, but also if I bet $10 on Banshees, it completely negates the win I'm gonna have on Everything Everywhere All at Once. So I'm letting it ride, Doc.
I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some money on Banshees there. I'm just going to
Just give it to me. I'll put it on Everything Everywhere All at Once, and then I'll have $20 and I'll give half of it to you.
There's a lot of ways to go when you're talking about getting rid of money. Next category here for Critics' Choice this weekend is Best Actor. Nominees are Colin Farrell, Brendan Fraser, Austin Butler, the man Bill Nighy, then Paul Mescal for After Sun, and Tom Cruise for Top Gun Maverick.
Critics' Choice. Yeah, okay.
So Critics' Choice, I mean, I've been loving my Austin Butler. I think he's going to win the Oscar, but I do not think the critics are going to give it to him here. Yeah, is it Colin Farrell then? Colin Farrell is the favorite. Are you putting any money
I'm
here?
putting this on. This is my lock. Max it out.
Okay.
25 for 25 or whatever the max is. Just hit it. This is going to be Colin Farrell, and this is doubling your money, baby.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think. And listen, we all know I'm an Elvis guy, but I wouldn't put money on Butler here. So I think put money on Colin Farrell, even though he's the favorite. Just go for it. Best Actress at the Critics' Choice Awards this weekend: Cate Blanchett, Michelle Yeoh, Daniel Deadwyler, Michelle Williams for Fablemans, Margot Robbie, Babylon, no chance. Viola Davis, Woman King, also no chance. So I mean, is it basically Blanchett versus Yeoh as it's going to be for the Oscars?
In every award show coming up, it's Blanchett versus Yeoh. That's all there is.
Yeah. Is there any reason to put money here on Michelle Yeoh, who's plus 125?
Yeah, if you get like a bunch of free play money, max both of them out because you're going to get money back.
Yeah. I mean, I could see this. But listen, I think Blanchett right now is the favorite to win the Oscar, but the Critics' Choice could get in a real Everything Everywhere sort of like wave this weekend, possibly. So
yeah, I actually think Michelle Yeoh is helped by fan votes, and critics are going for Cate Blanchett, and they've proven that time and time again. She's got 2 Best Actress Oscars, I believe. She knocked it out of the fucking park in an incredible role by an incredible writer director that we're all fans of, and this movie might not have been as fun, but this is just a person at the absolute top of their game, and I do not count Cate Blanchett out for anything going forward.
Yeah, I mean, Lydia Tarr is a all-time character, like a Daniel Plainview from There Will Be Blood. It's, that type of, you'll remember it in 20 years on your deathbed performance. So I agree. She's going to win this.
All right. Hit us with the next guy.
Adapted Screenplay Critics' Choice Awards nominees are Sarah Polley, Women Talking, Rian Johnson for Glass Onion, the guy who wrote The Whale, the woman who wrote She Said, and then the guy who wrote Living. So which of these movies do you think has taken screenplay? The favorite is Sarah Polley, Women Talking.
Yeah, which is kind of like really falling down on the people giving a shit about it scale.
Yeah, and I don't know if critics love this movie. I mean, let me check out real quick on Rotten Tomatoes. I feel like this is a movie that hasn't been as beloved by critics as everyone expected it to be.
I have not seen Living. She said is not getting a fucking screenplay award. The Whale is not getting a fucking screenplay award. This is a two-person race as far as I'm concerned. Um, I don't know. She's a big favorite, but I don't know. If you really love Ryan Johnson, you want some fun money.
It's
play it.
only 89% on Rotten Tomatoes, women talking. I think that it might not be the worst bet to put the minimum on Ryan Johnson. He's plus 300. And if you got some funny money, otherwise, honestly, I think both of us maybe recommend don't bother with this category. If you're betting on the Critics' Choice, stay away from
don't bother
screenplay.
with this category. The next category, animated feature, also don't bother with it. I mean, I put $10 funny money on Marcel, and it's like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Right.
Nobody saw that movie. It's just not a movie. Don't worry about it. Guillermo's on fucking Netflix. It's Pinocchio going forward.
Let's see. The next category I talk about is they have a category for best comedy. I didn't realize that. So the best comedy films, it's Everything Everywhere All at Once, Banshees, and then Glass Onion, Triangle of Sadness, Bros, and Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Wow, interesting. So I mean, it's Everything Everywhere versus Banshees. And
I guess, but imagine Triangle of Sadness. You don't think that could possibly 1200?
I mean,
it's disjointed.
I like that movie a lot personally. But I do think it's Banshees versus Everything Everywhere.
All right, we got 2 minutes. Let's knock it out.
All right. I would say go Everything Everywhere on this. I think the critics are going to be into that.
Yeah, it's not even worth betting on.
Let's go down to Best Director, which is going to come down to Spielberg versus the Daniels for Everything Everywhere. Spielberg's the favorite, minus 275. The Daniels are plus 250. I would definitely bet on the Daniels here. I do not think Spielberg's gonna win.
So I do want to say this because I am hot on this movie. And it didn't win. The Daniels didn't win writing or directing. Spielberg got it, but it's the Golden Globes, man. Fucking water off a duck's back. Does not matter. The Daniels, because of the wins of both Kiwi Kwan and Michelle Yeoh, we are still hot.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the Daniels moving
forward. And then they have a Best Picture category, which the comedy movies can be eligible for Best Picture. They're
so fucking weird.
So
I guess like animated could or whatever.
Right. They consider comedy like the same as animated. So Best Picture is all of your
better than musical.
All your usual suspects. And so it really is Everything Everywhere is the favorite. Then The Fabelmans, Top Gun Maverick, Tar. Banshees is plus 1200 here. That is
imagine going with Top Gun or Avatar at the Critics fucking Choice Awards.
No, there's no way. I mean, the only one that I think as an underdog, Banshees at plus 1200 is so interesting because to me, that's like the co-favorite to win here.
Yeah,
I would think.
Absolutely. So, one of three at least at the moment.
Yeah, it's going to be Everything or Fabelmans or Banshees.
Or Tar, 1 of 4, I guess.
Yeah, I think of all the stuff we've been talking about, I'm going to put a couple of bucks on Banshees just in the Best Picture category, plus 1200.
That's a good idea.
I think that's maybe the place to just put your money. That's the underdog to bet on.
Justin Hurwitz, winner of Golden Globes, is up for Best Score at plus 150. It might be a good way to make just a little bit of money.
Yeah, I think that's for Babylon. I think that's very possible.
There's a lot of categories.
Kiwi Kwan, of course, is going to win Best Supporting Actor. He's minus 325.
Angela Bassett plus 800 for Best Supporting Actress. Do I dare?
I mean, let's end it with Best Supporting Actress then. It's Carrie Conn and Jamie Lee Curtis, Jessie Buckley, Stephanie Hugh, Janelle Monáe, Angela Bassett. Who's going to win this? It really is anyone could win this category at this point.
I have no fucking clue, man. This is, anything is as good of honestly, I might stay away from this. It's too crazy.
here's what I'm going to throw out there as my who this is the shocker that I think could happen at the Critics' Choice. Stephanie Hugh, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Best Supporting Actress. I think this category has gotten so wide open that she could win this as a statement from the critics. I'm not even saying bet money on it, though she is plus 800. I'm just saying when we're back here next week, I am predicting that officially. She will win this category. That's my prediction. So we'll be back here next week. It's a nice hook for the next episode.
I say JLC on this category. All right.
Okay.
So that's our episode.